Live from the City of Angels, it's Monday night. Monday Midnight Madness. The debut tonight, live from Los Angeles. I took last night off because I knew we'd have a lot to talk about today. And look, we do. We've got Paramount trying to come in last minute and beat Netflix to the punch and take Warner Brothers. We're all for it. We'll discuss that coming up. But this morning, very early here in Los Angeles, came the Golden Globes nominations. And I'm just getting around to reacting to them tonight. Thanks for being here live. As always, MMT. Let's do Golden Globes first because I can riff on that for like an hour. I'm not gonna because I know some of you don't want me to talk about that for an hour. But it just gets me into the flow. The Paramount, Netflix, Warner Brothers, that thing is so convoluted and twisted. It's going to be hard to untangle. I'll do my best here tonight. Give you my thoughts. As always, fearless, objective, and talented MMT, the gold standard. All right, let's look at Golden Globes nominations as we are officially in to award season, right? We had Critics' Choice nominations the other night, and I didn't get around to that, so we'll talk about both here. Let's do Golden Globes first, because obviously that's a bigger deal, and I'm not just saying that because I think Critics' Choice is a joke. Listen, Golden Globes is behind the Oscars, very clearly the biggest thing in this town when it comes to awards for films and television. Now, I'm not going to talk about TV because I don't watch TV. I watch very few, if any, shows right now. And when it comes to movies, though, I can talk, again, for an hour about this, but we won't. We'll just go with the basic good stuff here tonight and the things that I see and the snubs and the high fives, the things I'm happy about to see on this screen. Come with your comments. I'll get to as many as possible here on this Monday night. You need to give me a super chat. I'll see it faster because I'm flying solo tonight on this Monday Midnight Madness edition of MMT. Okay, let's do it. Let's get into the Golden Globes. Here we go. I have not really looked at this much today, so this is going to be a live reaction like typically you get from me. You're not going to get me thinking about much before I jump on the air. I don't like to. I like to react the moment I see it, and I don't want to have any preconceived notions, any ideas. I kind of just want to shoot, right? And I think that's what we do better than anyone else. And no one else in the space can even compete when we go to an hour-long live show with very little, if any, break. Only for like a trailer here or there because I need to catch my breath or drink my Walmart seltzer. But other than that, it's nonstop. Now, first thing I want to say about Golden Globes, I'm not a fan of 6 in a category, right? The old standard was 5. But because of inclusion, we want to get more people at our event. Let's make it 6. Hell, why don't we make it 7, 8, 9? Here's 10 in every category. And it cheapens the whole thing, right? Because now you're getting someone in that would have been on the outside, and that sounds good on paper, but here's the deal, is that when you're putting these things together, that's the hardest thing, is trying to figure out who is that last spot, number 5. If you give me 6, it's a lot easier, right? Every number you add in addition to any category is going to make that selection process a hell of a lot simpler because there's not as much debate about who that last person in is. And in some years, now, granted, this year's not great. I think it's better than last year, but not a lot. Listen, when I look at this year's crop of films, I don't think there's a film as great as The Substance. But overall, I think there's better films in depth versus one that stands out above everything else. So when I come out with MMT's top 10 of the year here in a few weeks, then it's going to be, I think, a little stronger than last year, but not as top heavy as we have with The Substance, which is very clear number one last year. No contest whatsoever. Let's get into drama. Here we go. We got 6 films. We got Frankenstein. Still haven't seen it. Don't know if I'm going to watch it because I hate Netflix. You guys know how I feel about that. Even though Del Toro, listen, obviously one of the best filmmakers we have. Production design will be there. Cinematography will be there. Costume design. I'm aware of that, okay? Hamnet, you guys know, not a huge fan of that. That's your number 2 film. This is Oscar bait, grief porn. It is a very dull film. It's manipulative. I did not naturally feel the emotion that Chloe Zhao was trying to impart with this film, and definitely one of the biggest disappointments of the year. Talk about disappointing. Film number 3. It was just an accident, okay? Let me just talk about that because I've not discussed that film up until this point here on MMT. I went to see this film about 3 weeks ago. It's been a month now. It opened here at AMC Burbank. I went in and I started watching this film. And within the first half hour, 45 minutes, I am going, I don't think I can take this much longer. This is tonally not working, okay? Why is this film here? I'm going to finish it because that way I can give you the full evaluation when I do. But I'm just telling you, I'm in no rush to finish it. This is the most overhyped film of the year. Why? Because it's a political statement. The director, Iranian, is going to jail, okay? Because, as we know, when you live under a regime like in Iran, you say things, do things they don't like, then guess what? You're going away. And that is a political statement. Hollywood will not ever not welcome that into the fold. They want to do that. They are the virtue signaling capital of the universe. So that is why It Was Just an Accident is here. Can I tell you that no other choice, if you're talking about a foreign language film, international feature, dude, no other choice doesn't just beat the fucking shit out of It's Just an Accident. This is literally like not even a one punch. I don't think we even need one. It's over within seconds. This film has no business in the discussion for best film, but it's another example of the politically correct bullshit this town does. And I'm telling you what, I don't even want to watch the end of this film. And I know that there are other people who think that, but guess what? Well, that doesn't make you very PC to say that, does it? And how many critics have we talked about? Oh, we're getting around to the one. Just wait, it's coming. We're coming up to our one that's the big one, the big left-wing virtue signaling film. Critics are as hard left as a group as any that you could ever gather together, okay? They love to virtue signal. They were the people during COVID telling you, oh my God, it's so dangerous, wear your mask, everyone's gonna die. People like Frosty the Wonder Bitch, right? People like that who essentially almost ruined all of our lives by being scared little bitches their whole lives. That motherfucker, fuck that guy. Let me just start here tonight. Hey, welcome to the channel. Let me tell you right now, Frosty, you're still the fucking bitch that I called you before. And the fact that you did that shit during COVID, I'm telling you right now that you were the biggest loser. And there's a lot of losers in the space. But Frosty, you are maybe loser number 1 on the ranking of biggest losers of all time in the film space, because you were the guy saying, don't go out, everyone's gonna die, put on your N95. And you know what? Next time, stay at home, lock yourself in your room, because I'm gonna tell you something, Frosty. No one's gonna ever forget that you're gone. They don't even know. They don't notice. Why would you notice? You're unremarkable across every level. Okay, every single metric that's out there. I'm sorry, man. I didn't even want. This is my stream. It's Monday night. I'll do what I want. I am so tired of the people in the space that occupy oxygen that don't deserve the oxygen. They don't even deserve to have words that are taken seriously. But this whole space is full of people that are so far left. They don't even know what being semi-centric is. And that's how you get films like It Was Just an Accident. And, of course, the film I'm alluding to that we're coming up on. Not yet. It's that time. Film number 4. I'm sorry. Listen, this is what you get. This is live. I didn't plan that. I wasn't planning to riff on Frosty the Wonder Bitch tonight. It just is what it is. This shit's organic. And I'll take that shot 99 times out of 99. Not out of 100. 99 out of 99. Okay? Sentimental Value is number 4. That's a film I really like. Okay? Also, how does that film work within this award season landscape? It is about Hollywood. If you've not seen Sentimental Value, it has ties directly into show business and movie making, and that benefits, obviously, any film during award season because Hollywood loves to see itself on the big screen. But that's not why I like the film. But obviously, that helps me access the film even more, and that's one of the best films of the year, best directed films of the year as well. Sinners, hellaciously overrated, not a fan. Go back and watch my reaction stream of that. I think that you're talking about a tonal, real mismatch of things going on in that. And the screenplay, oh, man, God, guys, wow. Okay, I like Ryan's filmmaking, always have, but screenplay-wise, very weak and just tries to do too much in that film. Hellaciously overrated. Sinners is number 5. And number 6 is Secret Agent, film that opens this week in Burbank. I plan to see it this weekend. We'll talk about it either Sunday or Monday next week when I have that evaluation. Okay, let's go to the next category. As you guys know, Golden Globes, they do drama and then they do comedy. So that gets you 12 films in, and then typically comedy is going to be the weaker of the two, right? Drama is going to be where you see most of the winners when it comes to Best Picture. Last year, Anora, a comedy. Oh, God, I still can't believe that film won Best Picture. Oh, my God. Do you guys know? I mean, I've only said it how many times? The worst Best Picture in the history of the Oscars, the kind of film that will destroy any credibility you have, Anora, okay? So this year, if One Battle wins, and we're getting to that, it's coming, it will not be as bad a win as Anora. Not even close. Okay, nothing's close to Anora. I don't want to hear Crash. I don't want to hear Shakespeare in Love. I don't want to hear any of that shit. I'm going to tell you right now that nothing is worse than Anora. Not one film. Blue Moon, film that I liked. I think it's a performance film. It's not necessarily an overall achievement in cinema. It is Ethan Hawke, okay? And I like that film. Linklater gets 2 films in here in comedy. But one of the best performances of the year is Ethan Hawke in Blue Moon. So I understand that part of it. I wouldn't have it in my best films of the year. But performance, yes. Begonia, my favorite of his most recent films. Not even a contest, right? It would go Begonia, it would go Kinds of Kindness, and then Poor Things, like 50 feet of crap, and then Poor Things. Poor Things is trash, okay, across the board. When you look at Begonia, there's a lot going on with that film. What I love with that film is that when we get to the end, without giving it away if you haven't seen Begonia, I love the fact that you get what you expect to get. So often, right, we build to something and it's like, nope, it's not that. No, it is that. And that's what I love about Begonia. It's weird, but also I think it's accessible. And the performances across the board are sublime, and it's really a great film. Begonia deserves to be here without question. Marty Supreme, can't wait. I got really one huge film to watch the rest of the year. It's Marty Supreme. And I have not been invited by A24, and I don't fucking care. Fuck you, A24, while I'm at it right here in the middle of this. Fuck off. I don't give a shit about getting your invite to your little bullshit pre-screening. I'll see it in Burbank. It's very easy for me. I don't need anything from you ever again in the future, so it doesn't matter. That said, when I see Marty Supreme, it's not going to alter what I have to say about that film whatsoever. None. 0%. So that's the beauty of being objective, is that I can say, screw your entire company because you're full of woke idiots. And then I can say, wow, this film's really great. Okay? And we've had that conversation about A24 many, many times. And by the way, I'm not even the anti-woke guy, but that is one of the most virtue signally studios are going today is A24. When they're good, they're very good. When they're bad, they're some of the worst shit you've ever seen, such as The Front Room and Tuesday, 2 films from last year that almost destroyed the brand. The fact that they put those 2 films out is telling me that whoever's in charge of A24, and it's kind of like a group, right? It's like a council of people, dumbest motherfuckers on the planet. The fact that you put those 2 films out, A24, you have literally the brain power, a sub 20 IQ to put those 2 movies out. That's how bad those 2 films are. But that's what happens when you devalue a brand. When you put out garbage like that, then people go, well, what's this? Then you give me Marty Supreme, which by all accounts is a great film. One of my people I really trust says it's his favorite film of the year. And I'm excited. No Other Choice is our number 1 film of the year right now. It's number 4 here. And it had some screenings tonight in IMAX because it has leaked online. I mean, I'm just going to tell you the truth. It's online. Listen, do not do that. Go see it when it comes out. But that's why they wanted to put it out now, because people can watch it at home. I've had people hit me and go, "Oh, I watched No Other Choice." Like, oh, of course you did, on the dark web, on all the pirate sites. There's tons of them. Okay, so not that I would know anything about like the places to rip off Netflix movies, so I don't have to pay for Netflix. I wouldn't know anything about that. Do you? I have no idea. No idea. But No Other Choice. Go back and look at my reaction to that film. It is a real masterclass in how to juggle tone. You talk about a film that's doing a lot and is able to land it. Okay, very Parasite-esque. And when you're talking about a filmmaker, when you look at Park Chan-wook, you're talking about one of the best overall directors when it comes to cinematography, editing. You've got performances here. You've got screenplay, overall direction, right? The overall aesthetic of the film. No Other Choice is truly the best film of the year, along with Springsteen. Huge fan of Springsteen. The fact Springsteen's not here, laughable, okay? Go back and look at the drama. And first of all, Hamnet's out of there. Springsteen beats Hamnet, okay? Springsteen definitely beats It Wants to Be an Accident. Springsteen, in my estimation, without question, beats Sinners. It never will, because we know there's a lot of virtue signaling with that. Let's be honest. Haven't seen Secret Agent, haven't seen Frankenstein, but I can tell you this, that there's no way that Springsteen isn't one of the top 5, not 6-5. Springsteen's a great film. I don't care. I don't care if it's not what you wanted from Springsteen. I don't give a shit. It's a good film. And the performance is fantastic. Direction's very good. It's an intimate film. I love films like that. And that is the biggest jobbed film this award season so far. It's showing up nowhere, and it's another proof to me and to you that critics across the board are generally fucking dumb, and they suck. They have no talent. Across the board. Across the board, if you name a critic, I'm going to tell you they suck. There's very few. There's like 5 to 10 that I would say are good. I didn't say percent. 5 to 10, period. Okay? Because the majority of people in the space are all like, well, I want to be part of the group. What does everyone else say about Anora? Oh, it's fucking great. Instead of saying, holy shit, what is this crap? It's weird being one of the few people that's able to do that. Because there's so few in this space that have that ability to stand in front of the entire universe and say, this shit's bad. Okay? I did it with Sinners, one battle after another. Not nearly as great as Here It Comes. Let's talk about it. First of all, it's Nouvelle Vague. Have not seen it. I'm looking forward to it. I think I'll watch it because why not? I got to watch all these films, even though it's Netflix. Fuck Netflix. Here we go. One battle after another. Okay, let's talk here. Like I said, every film critic you know that works for any major publication leans as hard left as you could possibly fathom. When you get a film directed by the esteemed Paul Thomas Anderson with a hard left agenda saddled to it, you are going to end up with the film with the most nominations at any award show across the board. Because, one more time, the average critic leans hard left. And this film is, without question, a left-leaning film. It's also tonally not working. If this film would be a dark drama with no comedy, it would have been great. It could have been great because I do love, of course, how do you not recognize fantastic technical direction out of Paul Thomas Anderson? It's there every time. Even A Licorice Pizza, not a great film. Inherent Vice, right? This is one of PTA's weaker films. It's not his weakest film, one of his weaker films. No question, okay? And before anyone asks, favorite PTA film of all time is The Master. That's it. It's Master, and then everything's underneath that. So this film checks every box to make all these people that are these left-wing nut jobs out here in Hollywood. And the funny thing is, right, is I'm not right, I'm not left. I just don't like anybody who goes so hard on either side. I want people that are, I don't know what you're going to say. What are you going to tell me? I don't know. Are you left or are you right? I don't know. And I don't know how you're going to evaluate something because you're objective. You don't have an agenda. But that's asking way too much of these people. I mean, like the New York critics, oh shit, man. They're so far left, man. Biggest bunch of chin-stroking knobs on the planet, the New York film critics. What did they just vote The number one film of the year. Oh, wow. Was that success? Are you surprised? What I just... One battle. I mean, that's what you get. And then they split it with direction, or do they give direction to PTA? Either way, it won, right? That's the thing. When you get those kind of critics together, they're going to say one battle's the best film of the year. LA just gave it to it, right? Again, all the LA critics, like your boy, the fucking fraud, Sean Fennessy. Sean the fraud, no testosterone Fennessy. And that man needs to wear testosterone patches all over his body, and then he'll be like up to a normal level for a guy. This is why I don't get invited to these things anymore. I don't care. Do you think I'm scared of Sean Fennessy? Oh my God. Like I said, seriously, get him the whole thing of patches for testosterone, slap him all over his body. Sean, what do you have on your body? These are all testosterone patches to get me up to normal for a man. Oh, are the Ringer people coming? Oh my God, no, the Ringer people. Oh, really? We're going to listen to some Ringer people that are clueless. Just get ready. Ringer's the most overrated publication maybe on planet Earth. Of all publications, they are, again, given the weight that they are granted versus what they actually deliver, it's like what we were talking about. It's like they're the Anora of the film space, right? The worst best picture, the worst publication given, they're considered to be the best, right? So the disparity between where you think it should be and what it actually is like, what are we talking about? It's not even, dudes, it's like laughably awful that you guys consider that good. And your Ringer boys, seriously, just so you know, you guys are so fucking dumb. Do you think that's good? You think that Fantasy's good? It's unbelievable to me. Like, it's like, how are you so delusional? How do you not understand? Because you've been told? Like, would you just listen to all propaganda that someone says something's good, therefore it's good? Sinners, one battle after another, Hamnet, because Nora last year. It's the same shit over and over, isn't it? It's the same shit. Because you can't think for yourselves. Oh, Sean Fantasy's the best. Fuck that guy. He's fucking terrible. He's not good. I'll drag him every show I have. I don't give a shit. It's my channel. It's niche for a reason. This is what I do. And I'm not going to ever hold back on that. 99 out of 99 times. Okay, here we go. I kind of like this Monday. I'm on it tonight. You just let me do my thing, okay? We're getting there. We're only through 2 categories. I promise I'll pick it up. Arco, I did not see other than the first 5 minutes because it was in Burbank and I had things going on. I walked in to watch a second of it, and I actually went to the Arco party. And I want to thank everyone who invited me to that because it was amazing. It was here in Toluca Lake, and they had a free full spread. So I am all for Arco because I had numerous beers. I had steak, salmon. What else do we have? Tuna tartare. So Arco is my pick. Because, frankly, the film that I love the most of the animated is not here. It's not Demon Slayer. It's not Elio. That should not be here. K-pop, still haven't watched it, probably won't. Little, Amelie did not see. And then you've got Zootopia 2, which is nowhere near as great as the first one. What film is missing here? Help me out, guys. Chainsaw Man. Chainsaw Man's the best film I've seen this year from an animated perspective. In fact, I'm going to probably have Chainsaw Man in my top 10 films of the year. That's my guess. I right now it would be. When I put it all together and assemble everything, I'm going to look and have Chainsaw Man probably in the top 10. Okay, here we go. Foreign language / international feature. It was not an accident. Overrated. Shouldn't even be in discussion. No other choice. Best here. Cinema value, close. Cinema value is very close, but no other choice is the pick here. Surat, I've heard great things about. Only played here for a weekend. Missed it. I'm going to see it when it opens. Secret Agent this weekend. I will see. Looking forward to it. And Voice of the Hind Rajab. I did not see. So I can't speak to that one. But I will get to Surat, and I'll see Secret Agent this weekend. And let's go to Best Performance by a Female Actor Drama. Eva Victor, Sorry Baby. Good A24 film and strong direction. It's her directorial debut. She's also in the film. I like that. If you have not seen Sorry Baby, I'm all for that. I'm also all for Jennifer Lawrence and Die My Love. I love Lynn Ramsey's direction in that film, and she is very good. I know a lot of you don't love the film. Fine, I don't care. Here's the deal. It's not for everybody. No question about it. Some of you are going to find it very dull. You're going to be like, this is depressing. I get it. But I love her filmmaking. Some of the shots in the twilight in the dark. It's just a really beautiful film. Dime I love. She belongs here. Jesse Buckley, Hamnet, best thing about Hamnet. Other than that, Hamnet can just go away. I have no interest in talking about that film. It bored me to tears. After the Hunt, Julia Roberts, big fan of After the Hunt. Listen, it's not a perfect film, but you know what that film is? It'll have you constantly thinking. If you're engaged with that film, you will at least have your brain going because you've got Lucas' direction and you have a screenplay that I don't think is the best version of what they're trying to tell. I think that Ayo is completely miscast in that movie. But when you look at Julia Roberts, great performance. I love this pick. And then you have sentimental value, Renee. How do you say her name? I honest to God, have never said her name other than just to see it. I've seen her in everything. First of all, she's in one of my favorite movies of the past several years, Handling the Undead. And then you look at her here, she is one of the best performances of the year, without question. That's easy to do. I have not seen Hedda. That is, I believe, an Amazon movie. Amazon got jack shit this year, so they got at least something out of this. Best performance by a male actor in a motion picture drama. The Rock, Smashing Machine, no way. Smashing Machine has no business in any discussion for anything, okay? Not The Rock, not anything about that film. Thank God it didn't show up anywhere else. Not an awards film, and The Rock is not a best actor. That is not working. Okay, that's laughable. Get The Rock the fuck out of here, okay? Now, Jeremy Allen White, amen. Love you there, buddy. That is a great film. One of our favorite films of the year. Top 5, top 3 right now. Springsteen, Delivering Me from Nowhere. So really excited to see him there. Joel Edgerton, Train Dreams. I did see Train Dreams. I like Train Dreams and love, but it's a very good film at times. And Edgerton's always interesting on the big screen. Michael B. Jordan, Sinners, if you're going to give me one thing from that film, I'm going to take that. So I'm okay with that. Oscar Isaac, always great in everything. I assume he's great in Frankenstein. And then Secret Agent, we'll see this weekend. We'll talk about that when we do the next Sunday or Monday show. Let's do actress in a musical or comedy. Amanda Seyfried from Testament of Ann Lee. I'm looking forward to seeing that from a directorial standpoint. That film looks like straight heat. So that will be a fun one to take in here in a few weeks. Chase Infinity, One Battle After Another. I mean, yeah, you knew she'd get in. I don't think the role has that much meat. There's stuff. I mean, listen, it's not like it's a supporting performance. But I think I can come up with someone better to put in here. I've got to think about that. Again, doing this live, I got to think back to all the films I've watched this year. Obviously, you guys know how I feel about Twinless. Twinless is one of the best films of the year, and Twinless is not even here at all. Okay, now there's no actress in that film. There's supporting, very good supporting performance actually out of that, but no lead. You got 2 male leads in that one. Cynthia Erivo, Wicked for Good, not nearly as good as the first. And by the way, that thing's falling apart, right? It's dropping like hard. People are just done with Wicked. And I don't blame them because the second one's not nearly as magical as the first. And also Universal didn't give us enough time. Not enough of a refractory period. You need a refractory period. Okay? You cannot be visiting the same film over and over and over, the same world. Okay? Dune had a refractory period, but not a year. A year's not long enough. Okay? Especially as you get older. You need a longer refractory period, especially for Wicked. Okay? So that was a mistake by Universal to put that out this year, but she's in. And obviously Emma Stone, Begonia, fantastic. She won't win, but really, again, one of my favorite performances of the year, and Begonia is going to be in our top 10 films of the year at the end of the day. I believe it will be, if like 10, 9, somewhere in there. Kate Hudson's Song Sung Blue. That is due out here shortly. I think it's next weekend. They have some early access screenings. I hope to see it. I heard she's the best thing about a movie that's not fantastic, but I will check that out when it drops. Rose Byrne, If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You, a film that I absolutely loathed. You talk about a film that I wanted to rip my eyeballs out. That film is tonally, oh, God, what is going on, right? It's a comedy, but you will not laugh. Unless you think like a dead hamster, the hamster getting run over. Boy, is it bad. Boy, that's a bad film. But that's a perfect New York critic, cinephile, bullshit, chin-stroking garbage pick, right? That's exactly what those people do. They go for a Rose Byrne, and If I Had Legs. She's great in everything. The movie is borderline unwatchable. A24, one of their worst films of recent note. But yet here it is, because that's the kind of thing that gets in. But again, it's not that she's bad in the film. Film's on borderline again. I wanted to walk out, and that doesn't happen all the time. No, I mean, lately more often than not. But I can't believe I stayed for the rest of that. I think it was because it wasn't that long. If it was even like 2 hours, I would have walked out. I'm done with this. Ethan Hawke, Blue Moon for comedy. Yes. George Clooney, Jay Kelly. Looking forward to seeing that. Love George Clooney. Sorry. Listen, you might not like his politics. I think even though he plays himself in every movie, he's good. Right? George Clooney, you know what you're getting. And you're getting a guy who's reliable. You're getting a guy who is able somehow, even though he is so suave and debonair, to play kind of the every guy. You know, I love Up in the Air. You go and you look at a Michael Clayton. I think that's his best work. Michael Clayton is just a hell of a film if you haven't seen that. And yeah, so I'm sure I will appreciate what he does in Jay Kelly. Jesse Plemons, Begonia, yes. The very thin, the very svelte Ozempic Jesse Plemons. I mean, he looks like he might be on it. He's lost so much weight. It's almost too much. Like, it's, dude, you're almost like gaunt, right? You need to put on a little bit of weight, Jesse. But he's, yeah, lights out in that film. Lee Bong-hun, who's from No Other Choice. That's a very difficult role, a lot going on tonally. So I love seeing that there. Leo DiCaprio, you know he'd get in. And I don't think it's his best performance. Like, anyone who thinks that this is his best performance when you have Wolf of Wall Street, you're crazy. Like, dudes, it's Wolf of Wall Street. Okay? That's number one. And then I would put, there's a lot of films ahead of this. I mean, I don't even think tonally this is right? That whole thing of like, I forgot the number, what's the password? Over and over and over. Like, okay, I got it, right? That's not funny. Like, I'm telling you what. And then also, how about just like the names of the characters in that fucking film? Lockjaw. And that whole bullshit at the front with like, you know, shitbag Sean Penn, who's like, I want to fucking bang you, honey. I mean, what have we been watching? Tonally, that film's bad, man. I can't even believe you guys think that's the best film of the year, but that's what you'd expect from New York or LA. Because they are virtue signaling, chin stroking nerds, okay? And they circle jerk. They're circle jerk motherfuckers. That's all they are. They could never have an original thought in their head. They just don't possess it, okay? So the fact that you are, you know, wow, that's surprising. No, of course it's not, because that's what they do. Chalamet, I feel like Chalamet should be the winner at the end of the day for Best Actor. I mean, it's really going to come down to, okay? It's going to come down to Stellan Skarsgård, which, by the way, I think they have him supporting here. Where do they have Skarsgård? Because he's supporting. Okay, you could argue that's a lead, but Skarsgård's right there in supporting. And he is going to win that. Because, right, we talk about this all the time, right? Whenever you have a category, supporting, and a performance basically is a lead, and they shove it down to supporting because they're allowed to slot it wherever they want, okay? So when Neon said, here's what we're going to FYC for your consideration. We are going to say we want Stellan Skarsgård to be in supporting. And you go, well, it's kind of a lead. Well, he comes in late, which is, you know, later, and you could just use that, right, as an argument. You go back and you look, I say it all the time. Here it is again. I'll make it short because I've said it a million times. Favorite's the perfect example of how you set this up. The favorite, the lead of that film is Emma Stone, without question. Why did they go Olivia Colman? Because she was the lead in that film, according to Searchlight. Because they knew that Emma Stone just won for La La Land, so her chances of getting nominated / winning again were next to zero. But if they put her in supporting, then you end up getting 2 nominations, and look what they ended up getting. They got the win with Olivia Colman. So that's how you play the game. So it's a game, right? Some call it category fraud, but it's a game. And the studios, if you know what you're doing, you can get away with that. You go back and you look at the film from last year with with Eisenberg, Jesse Eisenberg. Love that film, right? A Real Pain. Okay, those 2 performances really are both leads, and you could flip them either way. Okay, so the way they flipped it, obviously they got the win with Culkin, but that is how you slot. You slot for where you can get nominations and or wins. You just look at it and you strategically play the card. Adam Sandler, Jay Kelly, I could see him definitely giving a lot of competition to Skarsgård, because it's another one of those, hey, he's here, he hasn't been here, he's not going to be here often. And in a lot of instances, I would say that's accurate and fair to maybe sway your vote that way, because if someone's not going to be back and it's almost a 50-50 to you, now again, it has to be almost a 50-50, right? So if you're looking at it, you're like, flip a coin, go with the person who's not going to be back there anytime soon. And Skarsgård's like, right, he's always going to be in the mix whenever he steps on the big screen. So that's why I would go Sandler here. Now, when I look at, great example of when I would never do that is go back to Tar, right? You go back and you look at Michelle Yeoh in that Everything Everywhere versus Tar, and Cate Blanchett If it's first of all, there's no way it's 50-50. Cate Blanchett in Tar is one of the best performances we've ever seen. Okay, the fact that she didn't win is a joke. Like, you lose all your credibility. The Oscars have lost so much credibility over the years. Last few years, right? When you start talking about Everything Everywhere Best Picture, you talk over Cate Blanchett. You talk about Nora winning Best Picture. You talk about a film like Coda that belongs on Hallmark Channel. You're talking about a lot of credibility is thrown out the window. You know, I just saw in the comments here before I got on, I'll get into comments here in a few minutes, is I just saw someone saying that Gore said that Drive Away Dolls was a good film. Are you fucking kidding me? Drive Away Dolls is one of the worst films of the year. Like, you can't make those mistakes. Like, you just can't. You know, I don't have one of those. You're going to say Ant-Man 3. Are you fucking kidding me? It's a Marvel movie. It's a goof Marvel movie. Why are you going to... Like, that's not... Now, if I told you that Sinners, Nora, Everything Everywhere, One Battle were all great. Oh, wait, who did that? Oh, that'd probably be Sean Fennessy, I imagine. He probably said all those were great because they're fucking clueless. Also, another one, Babylon. Another huge deal breaker, right? You start talking about films that you can't be wrong on. Drive Away Dolls, okay? Nora. One Battle. Listen, I can maybe go fresh on it, thumbs up, but it's such a low. It'd be like I said, I think it's like 77 for me, right? 78. C+. Okay? But that's not a glowing recommendation. That's not like, oh, this is the best film of the year. One Battle's not going to be in my best films of the year. No chance. None. Zero. I've got small films. I got a film like Rebuilding's a better film. You guys haven't heard of that film? Because you need to start watching MMT more. We talk about things that maybe you should see instead of things like one battle after another. Del Toro's here. No surprise. Elordi, good-looking kid. I think he's going to be a huge star. Obviously, he already is, but he's going to be like huge, right? Wuthering Heights is going to be a massive success for Warner Brothers, whoever owns them, when that comes out in February. Valentine's Day, and it looks like Emerald Fennell's really dialed it in. That's one of the best trailers I've ever seen. We watched that a few weeks ago. If you haven't seen that, go watch Wuthering Heights trailer in a theater. Oh, my God. Dude, I was blown away. It was an IMAX the other day. I was like, this is just really the bee's knees. Paul Mescal, Hamnet, again, laying it on thick, and he's doing, are you brave? Are you brave? Okay, all right, I got you, buddy. Paul Mescal, obviously, talk about a hot actor. You go back and you look at After Sun, one of our favorite films of the past several years. 2022 was lights out in cinema. I say this every time we do one of these streams because it is award season right now. There's no better award season than 2022 when you talk about a Tar, an After Sun, Decision to Leave, and Moon Age Daydream. These are four films that are the best films. They'd be the best films this year, right? So you have four films in 1 year that are better than anything from this year. You see what I'm saying? So it's kind of like the NFL draft. NFL draft has good years and bad years. Strong years for quarterbacks, running backs, whatever. Well, guess what? 2022 was a very hellaciously strong draft for best films. Okay? And I'm talking about Moon Age Daydream. That's the Bowie documentary. For documentary, wasn't even nominated. What are we doing? Like, the documentary branch of the Academy is an absolute laughingstock. They don't even know what they're doing. Best director, Chloe Zhao. Hamnet, I would never have her in there. I do like Trier in here for Sentimental Value, however you say his last name. And then you've got, of course you do. Of course you've got Jafar Pahani. Because you've got what we talked about. The evil regime putting him in jail. And no one's saying that's like, all poor. I'm saying it's awful, but it doesn't, you don't award things like that. Right? You don't because, he's going to jail, so let's give him a nomination. He lives in Iran, so the movie's not great. It's not, by any stretch of the imagination. But yet again, because we're doing virtue signaling, then we are talking about we have to get him in there. We feel good. Let's give ourselves a pat on the back. Del Toro, Frankenstein, PTA, and then Ryan Coogler for Sinners. Listen, I've got better directors this year. I mean, I would go ahead and put Twinless in here ahead for sure. That kid's great, and also he's the lead in that film, or one of the leads. And you've got two really leads. It's another one of those a real pain kind of situations. You can split it any way you want. By the way, what did I tell you guys? I could talk an hour. We're 40 minutes in, and I have not even talked about Warner Brothers. What did I tell you? I didn't even know. I'm not even done. Do you see? Can you name someone else who could do this for 40 minutes, talk this much, and be this dead on every time? Go ahead. Come in the comments. I'll get to it. Go for it. Go for it. Go for it. No. By themselves. Go. Give me a name. Huh? I'm waiting. Go ahead. I'm giving you a second. If you're on X, go to YouTube, Midnight Movie Talk. Find us. Put in a comment. Tell me who you think could do this for 40 minutes the way I just did it by themselves. No one. The answer is nobody. And I'm not done. Best screenplay. Right? Now listen, let me talk something. You got direction, you got screenplay, you got picture, okay? Picture should ideally have director and screenplay all at a level that gives you that best picture. They both need to be at an elite plus level, okay? You can have a film that has a great screenplay and not great direction. You can have a film that has great direction, not a great screenplay, okay? You have to understand all these elements are to be extracted and to be put under the microscope. I go back to cinematography. You want to talk about one of the best looking films of the past several years is Gretel and Hansel, which is from Oz Perkins. That film, from a cinematography standpoint, one of the best looking and best shot films of that year. Wasn't anywhere near, because you have to be able to not just say the best screenplay of the films we're talking about, what's the best screenplay? And Twinless is one of the best screenplays of the year. Oh, without question. Definitely better than One Battle After Another. Oh, hell yeah. Oh, no contest. Definitely better than Sinners. But again, you're not going to win that. You're not going to beat Ryan Coogler. But I'm just saying, if you're doing merit, Twinless is in here. On a screenplay, oh, God, easy. One of the 5, one of the 3, one of the 2, one of the 1. Hamnet, just an accident. Oh, wow, that's a real fucking whiff. Sentimental value, One Battle, Marty Supreme, and Sinners. I can't wait to see Marty Supreme. I'm sure I'm going to love it, because you look at, oh my God, this is crazy, by the way. Okay, so all I know is that OPN, One Hedrick's Point, Never, whatever, right? He did Good Time and also did Uncut Gems. He's doing Marty Supreme. There's no way in hell that's not one of the best scores of the year. No way. Because the Good Time score, best score of that year. Uncut Gems, one of the best. Good Time's better than Uncut Gems. Okay? I bet it's one of the, it has to be. Desplot? Really? Generic. Every time. It's big orchestral shit, right? Here's a bunch of strings and this is Desplot. You know what you're getting. Hans Zimmer F1, I like it. I like that pick. F1's one of the best films of the year. Yeah, it's a 4-quad blockbuster, not an awards film because we're so pretentious, but it's one of the best films of the year. F1 will be in our top 10. Oh, yeah, easy. Hey, easy. That's not even a question. Definitely. So, but not here. Johnny Greenwood, who I love, right? Go back and look at Phantom Thread. I think that's probably his best work. Johnny Greenwood, one of my favorite composers, along with Michael Levi, obviously Ludwig Göransson, and then I mentioned OPN. And, these are the people that I'd be calling first. Reznor Ross, duh, right? These are the people. Reznor Ross had, they had After the Hunt, but of course that movie didn't really go anywhere except for Julia Roberts. Surat, I hear it's an electronic score, so I bet you I'm going to dig that. Because you guys know, every time we start tonight, what do we start with? Electronica. 9 times out of 10, you're going to hear some kind of banging club track DJ Webslinger used to play at the raves in Columbus, Ohio. That's what I do. Okay, we have pristine taste. We're the gold standard for a reason. Ludwig Göransson, not his best work, but obviously he's going to get in. And then Max Richter for, Max did Ad Astra. I know Ad Astra had a kind of a mishmash, a couple different things going on there, but Ad Astra is such a film. Whoa, what cinema? That film, talk about, again, a film that was robbed and comes to awards. Like nothing. Not score, not cinematography, not direction. I told you my story about Ad Astra. Let me tell you one more time. So if you love Ad Astra, which I pray you do, because it's a much better film than Gravity, which has, 7 Oscars? Dude, Ad Astra, as I tweeted when I came out, if Gravity has 7 Oscars, Ad Astra should have 77. Like, that's how much better it is overall as a film. But you look at Ad Astra, and apparently James Gray edited that thing up to the last hour before it debuted, I believe, at Venice. Isn't that crazy? Like, he had all these different versions. And I'm not saying he picked the right one, because I think the ending of that film's not the strong point, but just the feel, right? The moon scene. It's got this real spiritual aspect to it. Anytime a film has kind of that real kind of ethereal, just overall feel, you just go, oh, wow, right? Ad Astra. My God, what a film. Best original song, Avatar. I don't even want to see it. You guys know how I feel. K-pop Demon Hunters, Sinners, Wicked, and Train Dreams. Okay, whatever. Moving on. Cinematic and box office achievement. A lot of people talking about, how is Avatar Fire and Ash in here? Well, we know it's going to make a lot of money. But the fact that it hasn't already, it shouldn't be here, right? It shouldn't be here. Because you have to have made the money. You can't like say it's gonna, because we know it's gonna be a hit. It's not gonna be as big as the last one. I guarantee you it won't. But because you're on the assumption, and it's gonna make $1 billion, I'd say $1 billion easy, but not two. No way. But that's why everyone's going, what? And I understand. F1 for sure. K-pop Demon Hunters, I mean, you got a limited release, whatever. I just can't even with that. With Netflix. Mission Impossible Final Reckoning, one of the most disappointing films of the year. Sinners, yes, of course, that makes sense. Weapons makes sense. Wicked, I mean, yes, because it's made 400 plus million, but not nearly as much as the first one. And Zootopia 2 is just getting into it, but it's already at 900, right? Is it 900? Yeah, it's already 900. That's crazy. China's got like 400 plus. Nuts, right? Nuts. So that is clearly then that's it. We're done. Oh my God, we did it. Okay, quickly. Let's do Critics' Choice, and then this will be fast. I won't, because I know that I said that I would go fast. Oh, hey, wait a second, Bruce. It's too late for me to give you Globe's predictions. Listen, here's the deal. Because you just gave me a super chat for this amount, which, by the way, just paid for another football kit. So, Bruce, I want to thank you for that. I now owe you, I'm going to give you no fewer than 5 to 10 chats for free. Okay? You come in, I'll answer any question because it's too late for Globe's predictions. They're already out. So, my predictions are what I just said. Is that good? But seriously, Bruce, no joke. It's on me here. Whatever the next few comments you have, I will get to those. I promise, because it's not fair. I just cheated. Park Chan-wook is a great director of masterpieces. I mean, listen, obviously you go back and look at Decision to Leave, one of the most jobbed films of any award season. You look at that film from a directorial, screenplay, editing, score, performances, direction, overall film. Decision to Leave is I would argue, a masterpiece. And then you have this here, which is close, not as good. Decision to Leave ranked higher, but still, we're still playing at a level that embarrasses other people, right? Park Chan-wook, when he's dialed in, even like at 75%, is going to beat 95% of the directors working in the space, maybe 99. Okay, so I hope you saw it tonight. If you saw it, enjoyed it, awesome. It's one of the best films of the year. If you don't know what I said about that film, go look at Midnight Movie Talk on YouTube, and you'll find like a 4-minute clip of me talking about No Other Choice without giving it away, because I try not to. The only time I give a film away or I get angry about certain things is because the movie's terrible, and I'll just drag it to fuck. But if I like the film, I'm going to try to avoid as much discussion of a synopsis as possible, because your job is to go in and watch the film and not know much about it, right? Why would I want to ruin the film for you? That's not what I really want to do, unless the film's so bad I don't want you to see it, and you shouldn't see it, okay? So, and sometimes that makes it hard when you're doing an evaluation, right? When you're doing an evaluation and you're trying to talk about certain things without giving it away, it's not easy. I mean, it can be very much of an issue when I'm trying to do my best job to tell you why it's not good without giving you away why it's not good. It's very hard. Okay, here we go. Critics' Choice, quickly on this. The overlap here, it looks about the same. Best Picture, no surprise. I look at these things: Begonia, Frankenstein, Hamnet, J. Kelly. That gets in here versus over at Golden Globes. Marty Supreme, One Battle, Sentimental Value, Sinners, Train Dreams, and Wicked. Okay, so if you were to ask me what films are going to get in for Best Picture, I would go ahead and say that all these will get in. J. Kelly maybe won't. And then my wild card, I would love to see No Other Choice in the Best Picture. Without question, it's one of the best films of the year. It's my best film of the year right now. So No Other Choice should be in over J. Kelly. That I can promise you. Best Actor, you got 6 again, very similar to Globes. Best Actress, very similar. You've got almost the same lineup, right? Yeah, same lineup. Best Actor, same lineup. Supporting Actress, looks like the same. Amy Madigan. Did she get in at the other? I don't remember. We might have skipped that category. We probably did. But that's a joke performance. Weapons is not a good film. The fact that you think that you can just put a bunch of shit in a movie and think it's good, that's what I think some of you think. Like Sinners is a great example. Sinners and Weapons are 2 films that are very similar that way, right? Let's just put a bunch of shit in our film and then you all think it's good because, look, it's got all this stuff. Well, you've got to make it mesh. It doesn't mesh. Tonally. I would rather watch a film that knows it's a comedy, knows it's a dark drama, not I'm doing comedy and drama, because guess what happens? Neither one works. Begonia, I think, comes close, but still, it's not as dark on the drama because you have so much of the comedy going on, and it's so weird. But by the way, can I just say, I've not talked enough about the ending to Begonia. Begonia is amazing, that ending. Listen, Begonia is one of the best films of the year. That ending is so dark. And truthfully, I feel like we're building to that. I'm not kidding, man. Honest to God, like the end of that movie is almost like I feel like they're telling us predictive programming. There's no question something's up. I've said it a million times on this channel. You're not going to get that from Jeremy Johns or from Chris Stuckman or from Grace Randolph because they're very simple thinking people. But for me, how do you not know that some shit's going on? And I don't mean politically. I mean there's some shit coming and it's bad. Okay? They know it. They're fully aware. The people in charge are fully aware there's some shit coming our way. I don't know if it's an asteroid. I don't know if it's a rogue planet. I don't know if it's Leviathan. Honest to God, I swear to God, I don't know. I just know that they know it's coming. We're inbound for a cataclysmic event in the near future. I'm sorry. I know this is like, what are you watching? I'm telling you, I know I'm right. I'm 100% right. I just don't know when it is. I can't tell you the timing. I don't know what it is. I just know they know. All the signs tell me they are aware some shit is coming and it's going to be fucking awful. No question. That's why you're seeing all the action you're seeing. Why do you think they're moving people all over the place? Why do you think? Why do you think they're moving people all over the planet and shoving them into different countries? And they are quite literally cramming them into countries. Because there's two reasons. I'll just make it fast and I'll get to the rest of this. Because it's what I do live. It's what I do better than anybody else. And I'm right. Remember this. When it happens, you'll be like, yeah, Weber was right. Pfft, that guy. Forget Rogan. Forget that other fucking Nepo baby bitch. God, that guy's bad. How the hell is that guy a guy? How did that happen? Can you explain to me how that guy became a thing? What's his name? Whatever his name is. The little short guy. You guys think he's in good shape. I'm in better shape than that fucker. I'll fucking destroy him in the gym. Not even a contest. What's his name? Left wing guy. He shocks the dog. That guy. I'll bury him in a live stream. Not even a contest, dudes. I'll bury him in a shirtless picture contest. Roll up, boy. No contest. Here's what's happening. The reason they're shoving people into other countries is because they know that the cataclysmic event's coming, okay? And because of that, what happens if you have a cataclysmic event? What do you want? If you want to restart everything, you want another cycle of wars. So, cataclysmic event, you have a bunch of people who don't get along together. Guess what? Now, whoever survives, all different kinds, now we're going to have the go through history again. Here come the Crusades. I know. You're like, right now you're saying to yourself, oh my God, this guy's fucking brilliant. He is literally Jeff Goldblum from Independence Day. Yes, you are watching that character do a live stream. There's more reasons. I'm just going to give you that. Does that not make sense to you? Right? You put a bunch of people, think of an ant farm, and then you inject the red ants and the black ants. We got a war. That's what they want. They want that, and then, or cataclysmic event, everyone who, guess what? We get to go through the cycle of war again, and then you build society again. I am certain, without question, and I can't prove it, but I know it, and you know it too. We have had numerous resets on this planet. Numerous. Not one, not two. Numerous. When we go to the next level, you're all going to find out, holy shit, what? We've had how many? Here's what it is. And then I'm back to this. Sorry, it's my live stream. I'll do what I want. It's Monday night, 8 o'clock at night here. We are an Etch-a-Sketch. Our society is drawn on an Etch-a-Sketch, and it's fully awesome. Like, we're at the point where the Etch-a-Sketch is almost full. Guess what's about to happen? Etch-a-Sketch is empty again. Let's write it again. That's exactly what I want you to think. I want you to think Etch-a-Sketch, rip, reset. That's what we're doing. I don't even want to talk about any of this anymore. We'll move on to the other thing. Fuck Critics' Choice. Critics' Choice pays, okay? Critics, exactly. War is profitable. Here's the thing, is that Critics' Choice pays... no, hold on. I want to make sure I get this right, because that's not correct. The studios pay for Critics' Choice members to fly to New York and L.A. to hang out at parties, stay at 5-star accommodations, have Uber rides around town, get per diem money for each day to buy food, or they get the food at the event. They get to take pictures and selfies with the stars, and then they jet back to Nowhere, Kentucky. Okay, that's Critics' Choice. And you're going to tell me that that is not corrupt? You wonder why I don't want to talk about Critics' Choice. And Critics' Choice, if you got a problem with what I'm saying, roll up. You can't, because I speak truth. You're not going to be able to handle coming in here and talking about that, because it's exactly what happens. Netflix flies Critics' Choice members into New York, LA. They put them up at the Four Seasons. And go look on their Facebook pages. Go look on their Twitter. Look where I am. I'm in LA today. I'm living the life at the 5-star Four Seasons. And now tonight I'm going to a party for Jay Kelly. There's one clown who's a Critics' Choice member. Total clown, right? Most of them are clowns. Dude, most critics are as unhip and uncool as possible. If you grab a collection of critics and stick them in a room, you need a hooker convention, because those motherfuckers are never getting laid without it, right? These are the reason that God created hookers. You walk in, you're like, oh my God, is this the loser convention? It is quite literally the loser convention. So what you have is, you've got these people come out to LA and they're like, oh, I'm big. No, you're not big. You're a nobody from fucking Kansas. But here's... Do you understand where we have gone tonight? We haven't even got a Netflix yet, but let me finish. Just literally to the reset to back to critics being a bunch of fucking losers. Okay, listen. So they fly in, they get to take selfies. Look at me, here I am. Look who I'm with, everybody back home in Kansas. And then they go back to their miserable existence. Okay, but here's the thing that corrupts your vote. Are you going to vote for Netflix if Netflix flew you out to LA and put you in 5-star accommodations and then got you a selfie with George Clooney? Right? But I was back to that guy on his Facebook page. I could find it. I'll find it. I'll bring it up next time we're on. He's like here, and he's in a room for Netflix, and he's like, impress me, Netflix. Like, dude, you're a fucking nobody. What are you talking about? Like, what? This is what I'm saying. They think they're like a big deal. Like, dude, you're nobody. Like, nobody even knows who you are. The only reason you're here is because they think that your vote matters, when in truth, I'll tell you what happens with Critics' Choice. And this, by the way, I'm going to go ahead and hammer Critics' Choice again right now. And if you want to refute this, Joey Berlin, this is open. Roll up, come in. I want to see your receipts for every vote that comes in. I want to see every nomination. I want to see every vote, so that when I can audit that and look at what actually wins versus you just pick the winners. You want to do that? Joey, you want to have some fun? You want to come on the show? It's welcome. Everybody, if you want to hit up Joey Berlin, I don't even know if he's on Twitter. He has like 10 followers. If Joey Berlin, who's made a fortune off Critics' Choice, wants to come on, by the way, Joey, the day that you decided to say, hey, Weber, are you a member of Critics' Choice? That was your biggest fucking mistake in the history of mistakes. So Joey Berlin, if you want to talk about your membership group getting flown out to New York and LA by Netflix and Amazon and whoever else decides to do it, and you don't think that corrupts your voting base, and then you, God knows if you even go to a vote, because I think you just pick the winners yourself. Who gave me the most money? Who has the after party here? Netflix? Good. Netflix, you win this, this, and this. Oh, I'm sorry, Weber. Is Weber hurting someone's feelings in town? I'm so sorry. It makes me very sad. I'm going to... Oh, God. No, I don't think so. I'm going to fucking drag your bitch asses every chance I take, because I am not corrupt. It never will happen. I am not for sale. You, on the other hand, are 100% for sale. And imagine being that much of a money whore that you'll take any amount of money to make something happen, because that buys you a better fucking martini at your 5-star restaurant tonight. You're corrupt. You have no credibility. Ultimately, nobody is more fearless and more credible than MMT, because we stand for objective truth, and we will drag anybody who doesn't. And also people who aren't talented. The reset will happen. That's why they built all those Well, listen, we're not doing a reset show. I promise you. By the way, everybody, for those of you wondering, this is Miami. I had to do that because this also pisses off the Critics' Choice members. Critics' Choice members, this is what an Emmy looks like. If you want to know, I have one, and I'll put it on my shoulder, and it'll sit here for the... Listen, the man... The myth, the fucking legend, okay? Do not forget that. At the end of the day, nobody in this space can even compete. Like, it's not even... Who else has an arm sponsor, a patch? Who's wearing football kits? And literally, look, do I need to flex while I hold this? Do you want me to play that game? I will play whatever game you want me to, because we're the gold standard. We're the Emmy standard, okay? That is what we are. But listen, quickly on this. Of course they're building underground bunkers. They know. They're aware. You guys, I've talked about. I've shown you Planet X. It's here. I know what you're watching. Going, what's going on? Just you got to listen. If there's one thing, and anybody who's watched this channel knows, Weber knows what he's talking about. If you listen to me for a little bit, you'll be like, you know what? He's very arrogant. He's very opinionated. But at the end of the day, everything he's saying is true. Like, everything is accurate. Everything is like, even if I don't want to believe it, it's true. I think it's right. And that's the thing is, listen, I talk about this a lot. When God, the creator, whoever you believe in the creator, there's definitely a creator. When the creator made me, the creator said, this motherfucker is going to talk truth and no one's going to stop him. And he's just going to say, he's going to figure things out. I figure things out very quickly. I'd be a great detective. I can see all the angles. That's why I'm very good at evaluations. I see everything that something's going on. I can see behind it. I talk about doing a magic eye when I watch a movie, right? You guys know the books, right? Look at magic eye and all of a sudden it pops out, looks 3D. That's what I do when I watch an evaluation. It's like, vroom, the whole movie goes like this. Most people just look like this, right? It's one thing. I see all the elements separate. Okay, so I'm looking at the Magic Eye book and I can see everything. I talk about Minority Report, right? I'm going, I can go through here, cinematography, edits, scores, and then, slot them. It's very simple. It's an evaluation. So you're watching the movie and you're also simultaneously slotting all this shit. Okay, I listen, he'd be great. I would love to have Speaking of that, before I get to that, let's just listen to Tarantino. Because I did want to get to this, so this is a perfect comment for right now. This will be a great kind of bridge between Golden Globes and the Paramount Warner Brothers situation. Okay, we're going to do that next. This is like, we're already at an hour, okay? Maybe an hour and a half tonight. But listen, here's the thing. I want to talk about Tarantino dragging Dano. I have a lot to say about that, but let's listen to it because I found the actual audio. Some of you might not have heard this. So I found this, and let's have a listen to everything that Tarantino says, and then I might pause and comment, or we'll just listen. It's about 4 minutes, so let's just go ahead and listen. He was on with Bret Easton Ellis, and he's talking about his top 10 of the century, and then this whole thing came up with Paul Dano.
Number 5 is Paul Thomas Anderson's There Will Be Blood.
So yesterday, Bret Easton Ellis dropped the second half of his conversation with Quentin Tarantino, where Quentin revealed the top 10 of his top 20 movies of the first quarter of the 21st century. And the 2007
This guy's a little weird. Who is this? Like, that's a weird presentation. Who is Graham O'Neill? He looks like he's having trouble speaking. All right, forget it. He's got the audio, so I'll use it.
Off Quentin's top 5.
Ladies and gentlemen, if I say I'm an oil man, you will agree.
What was it that you really loved about it from the first viewing?
Daniel Day-Lewis's performance and the almost old-style craftsmanship quality to the film.
Yeah, the quality of the film was recognized by the Academy as well, with 8 nominations,
okay.
including Best Picture.
Stop interrupting.
And 1 Best Cinematography and Best Actor for Daniel Day-Lewis, who also won the Golden Globe and the Screen Actors Guild Award.
There Will Be Blood would stand a better chance to be in number 1 or number 2 if it didn't have a big giant flaw in it.
Here we go. Here comes his dragging of Paul Dano. Get ready.
And the flaw is Paul Dano.
You will be cast up and thrust back to audition.
Obviously, it's supposed to be a two-hander, and it's also so drastically obvious that it's not a two-hander.
I can't keep doing this on my own.
Two-hander, we just talked about Real Pain, two-hander, right? 2 characters, master, two-hander, going back and forth. They are the 2 characters that this whole film revolves around.
He is weak sauce, man.
Yeah, yikes. I mean, it's not as hard as MMT goes, but this is a director. This is not a guy on a YouTube/X stream. So it's a little bit harsher from Quentin Tarantino.
At least a large number of BAFTA members disagreed with Quentin that year as they nominated Paul for Best Supporting Actor.
When do we get our money, Daniel?
Stop interrupting.
I'm not saying he's giving a terrible performance. I'm saying he's giving a non-entity.
Now, Bret defends Paul, saying that Daniel Day-Lewis was such a force in that movie that any actor would have struggled to register in the film.
Or can he take
you
this
put him
opera?
with the weakest male actor in SAG?
I mean, that's a little much, right? Paul Dano definitely is not going to win any awards for most testosteronic. That's it. That is it. I want some credit for coining that term, testosteronic actor in the history of film. But I don't think he's the weakest in all of SAG. But he definitely comes off as, I mean, listen, we hear it all the time, a beta guy.
I remember seeing Daniel for the first time, who I had known, and we'd done a film together called About Jack and Rose, and I love him, but I remember showing up there and seeing him in his clothes and hearing his voice and, going, oh,
the limpest dick in the world?
What?
I'll just leave that second part alone. But
yeah, that's...
Screen Actors Guild did nominate Paul
Hold on,
in 2023.
Austin Butler would have been wonderful in that role.
Austin Butler was a kid, little baby at that point. Come on, man. Yes, I get it now, but you can't go back in time. Austin Butler was like 10.
Did cast Austin in his last movie, 2019's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. When There Will Be Blood came out in 2007,
this guy
Paul was 23.
Struggling to even talk. Okay, so that's enough. Here's what I'm going to tell you: is that's too much. It's too hard. If Tarantino wants to be a film critic, if he wants to come on here and do a version of what I'm doing, which I think he does, then don't direct. Now, granted, he hasn't directed a film since 2019. Don't know if he ever will again. But when you're a director, it's just not the wisest course of action to drag a fellow actor, someone in the Hollywood space, right? So for me, it's different. You're going to say, well, it's not wise for you to drag a critic. Critics are not my compatriots, okay? I don't hang out with film critics. I don't want to. I told you guys, if I go to a critic screening, I feel instantly like, my God, I feel like I'm going to get like the uncool sauce all over me. This is not what I want. I don't want to come in and get the stank of what's going on here. I don't even want part of this. Again, I can't stress enough. If you walk into a room full of film critics, you're walking into the most unhip, uncool, unfuckable group of people on the planet. Okay? Oh, boy, that was fucking brutal. Wasn't too bad. It's true. It's true. There are roughly 2 sexy critics. One's here. I don't know who the other one is. I have no idea. You guys have helped me. I have no idea. But beyond that, you're talking... So I'm allowed to do that. It's not my deal. I'm not working with them. Do you see me going to possibly cast? I'm not going to hang out with these guys. I don't want to hang out with them. There's a couple of guys I don't mind, but in general, I don't want to hang out with these people. Not just because they're not uncool, because they're not cool, but because I think they both largely suck. Well, I don't want to hang out with someone I think's bad. Like, I don't want to hang. I'm too raw. I don't want to do that. One of my great friends that I hang out with all the time is not a critic, but I think he's smarter than almost any critic. Hell, I hate to say this. I'm only going to say this one time. In a one-on-one match, I don't know if I would be able to take him. He's good, but he's not a critic. But he's very good. And I'm not going to tell you who it is. But the point is that the average person is not good, right? So I don't even want to. So for Tarantino, it's just not the right. It's too hard. He just went too hard. He could have said, Paul, here's what I would have said. Even me on a podcast, because it's my show, it's different. But if I'm a director, here's what I would say. I would say, I love the movie, but Paul Dano was young at the time. I don't think he was quite ready to be with a force of nature like Daniel Day-Lewis. And I think you see that on the big screen. Now, you look at Paul Dano, he has more of a resume. He has more experience. He's been in the battles. I think he could handle that a lot better today than he did back then. Right? That says he wasn't ready, he wasn't good, but it also doesn't say weak sauce and all that. It's too much. It's too hard. And I think all of us can agree on that. I'm not saying he can't say that, but it's kind of like I say all the time with these actors who get into politics, right? Don't do it. Like, stop talking about politics. That's not your job. You shouldn't even be uttering an opinion about anything that's going to cause people not to buy a ticket to this movie. And if you want to, then do something else. Don't be a movie star. Does that make sense? Because otherwise, you are hurting our bottom line. And I can't have you do that as an actor. Your job as an actor is to act. Your job is not to talk about politics. If you want to talk about politics, then go start a podcast. And then just know that if you say something like that, you're going to rankle feathers. You're going to get people that are not happy about what you said, and they're not going to buy a ticket, and then you're going to hurt us. So you just have to be a little bit cagier. Just not quite as hard. All right, let's get the latest on Paramount and Warner Brothers, because I do want to do that because we're already over an hour and I haven't even done that. It's funny, when I started the stream tonight, what I tell you, I told you guys I can talk for an hour about Golden Globes, and there it is. I didn't even mean to. The problem is, once I get started, I've got all this stuff I want to get in, right? I don't just go, well, there's that. I go, let's talk about this. Let's break down things you don't understand, or maybe you didn't see, or maybe you don't. Why is one battle nominated most? Because I told you, left-wing critics, left-wing film, bang, PTA's right, because the majority, not majority, 99.9% of critics can never criticize a legendary director, and PTA is a legendary director at this point, right? You look at that and you see that with so many of these films. Look at Mickey 17. Mickey 17's unfucking watchable, unbearable film. But because it's Bong, a lot of people are like, well, it's good. No. Listen, Mickey 17 will be, when we make our worst films of the year, it'll without question be, if not number one, number two, it'll be right there. It's going to be very hard to dethrone that. I've seen some bad films this year. Mickey 17 is horrible. I mean, I again, gouge your eyes out. When that dinner scene starts, I swear to God, the guy next to me got him left. I told you guys, I've never seen people just get up in the middle, like 45 minutes in, I'm done. I'm not doing this shit. And that's the kind of movie, when you see that, you're like, I'm not coming back anytime soon. And I don't blame him. So Paramount is going for this hostile bid, challenging Netflix with an offer of 74.4, higher than that $72 billion deal by Netflix. So it's now getting way more interesting. And here's the thing. Without getting into all the nuts and bolts and watching shoe ads, do you guys tell I buy shoes and football kits? So if you see ads, you're going to see ads for shoes and football kits. Paramount, I don't want to get into all the details. I'm not the economy / business. I don't want to do that. I just know that if you ask me, do I want Netflix or Paramount to own Warner Brothers? I want Paramount. I want no one to own it. I want Warner Brothers to stay where it is. Not Zaslav. Give it to me. Let me take over. I'll run the fucking show. Better than Zaslav. But I don't want anyone to buy it. But if someone's going to buy it, I want Paramount, because at least, even though Paramount was just purchased, Paramount has the legacy of theatrical, whereas Netflix has the CEO that says, I don't give a shit about it. So let me just, as I say that, let's listen to, here comes the ringer. You guys ready? I told you I was going to drag the ringer again. Let's listen to what these guys had to say about who would be the better person to purchase. I just told you it's Paramount. It's not even it's not a contest. Okay, not at all. But let's listen to what they have to say.
But I would argue, and I actually did in my newsletter, that if you look at what would happen under the Ellisons and what will likely happen under Netflix, the Netflix scenario is probably better for the overall entertainment community.
What do you, this guy, talk about overrated. Here's another one. Does the Ringer just hire blowhards who have this reputation but actually don't really bring the value of what you've been told? Right? I mentioned fantasy. Here's this guy, Bellany, who, was at the THR. He has this little puck news thing. Just because you run a newsletter, just because people think you are, this is a stupid fucking comment, what he's saying. I can already tell you right now. The fact that he thinks that this is better with Netflix, I can't even believe I have to listen to another minute of this.
Than what would have happened with the Ellisons. It would have been Paramount 2.0, where there would just be mass layoffs, synergies everywhere.
Oh, hold on. You don't think that Netflix is going to lay people off, Matthew? Are you kidding me? Can you name a merger in the history of business that didn't have immediate mass layoffs at the company that was just acquired? Because there's consolidation. Look at Fox and Disney. Disney buys Fox. Fox people were gone within weeks. I remember getting emails from Fox, and then I sent an email to someone over there right after Disney bought it, and it bounced back saying this person's no longer there. Like, bang. That's exactly. And then you look at the Fox lot down on Pico, west side of LA here in the City of Angels, and you have a lot that is now a graveyard. There's no one there. They're picking everyone out of there by early next year, but there's only like a couple people left. That used to be a bustling lot. You'd go down there and you'd see all kinds of actors and producers and directors and just creatives walking around that lot. It's right there in Century City / Beverly Hills, but it's now dead. It's a shell because Disney said, we don't need all you. The same thing's going to happen with Netflix. This guy's crazy. He's acting like just because Paramount buys it, they're going to get rid of people too. Whoever buys Warner Bros. is going to get rid of people. So that's just stupid for him to say this. Like, this is, I almost like, is Netflix paying him to say this? Because it doesn't make any sense. The only answer is they're saying, hey, can you say that Paramount would be bad? And I'm telling you, if you don't think that there is corruption running within a Matthew Bellany, within a lot of these people that are in this industry, there's one person that will never be for sale. Not available. It's me. Nobody. I don't care what you bring to me. The answer is no. Fuck off. If I agree with it, then maybe I would take it. But I'm not going to say it because you're giving me money. Never would happen. I would never do it. If I don't believe in it, I'm not doing it. It's that simple. The answer is no.
You're combining two studios, two streamers, two news divisions, two of all of these things.
Okay, first of all, Netflix is combining streamers. He just threw news division in there for the fuck of it. Like, dude, stop. Okay, like that's just he's just throwing. I'm telling you, man, this is a comment made by someone who Netflix said make this comment. This guy's corrupt as hell,
and that just equals firings and synergies with Netflix. The better question to ask is, what are they adding by bringing this company?
This guy is a joke. Bellany, I hope someone sends this to you. You're a fucking fraud, and you're also corrupt. I'm going to make sure that's very clear here tonight. Bellany, you are not morally just. This is garbage what you're saying. And the funny thing is, because you're seen as this guy in LA, you're the Hollywood, boy who's been around forever doing this. It doesn't mean you're not corrupt. What you're saying right now is planted by Netflix. You're saying what they told you to say. There's no way you can think this, that the outcome is so much better with Netflix. The only way you could think that is they paid you. How does it feel to take the paycheck, Matthew? Does it feel good?
And if it's not something they already do, then likely they're either not going to do it and all those people will get fired, or they're going to do it and they're going to just have the Warner's people doing it.
Okay, hold on. Let me answer this question right here. How does he have a platform? He's been doing it forever. He has connections. He kisses ass. And this Hollywood loves to kiss ass. He kisses ass. So if he kisses ass to executives, then he's going to rise. Okay? They would never let me ascend in this town because they would be like, this guy is not controllable. Like, if you watch the stream, the first thing you would know, and trust me, if AI were to go over the stream, they would be like, this guy can never be a thing because he is completely and utterly rogue. He is his own fucking man. There is no way that he's going to be part of any kind of agenda. He's going to do his thing. And this guy, on the other hand, he'll do what you want him to. He's here you go. He's a fucking puppet. He's puppeting for Netflix. That's how. Also, let me make sure one thing's clear. Guess what he says the movie of the year? Zootopia 2, a film that not even close to as good as the first. And definitely not the movie of the year. I don't think it's awful. It's not as good as the first. He thinks it's the movie of the year. Do you see? So how? Because what did I tell you about fantasy? The same exact thing. We live in a world now where Hassan was the guy I was thinking of earlier. Hassan, all of a sudden, what makes him smart at anything? I've only seen a guy who has a dog with a shock collar. He's like 4'8", that guy. Okay? He's a Nepo baby. Do you understand how the world works? If you are connected, if you are an ass kisser, if you will do what they bid you to do, you will ascend. If you, however, say, fuck off, I'll do what I want to do and what's right, you will not ascend. Because we can't control you. If Netflix got on and gave me a call and said, hey, can you get on your podcast that I know a lot of people in the town listen to? Can you say that Paramount would be better? And if you do, listen, you know how we flew those critics to New York and LA? We will fly you to Barbados and we'll put you up in a 5-star hotel for a couple weeks and you can do your whole thing down there. No one needs to know. I mean, you don't think that happens? Do you honestly, Kuzma, do you really think that doesn't happen? Of course it does. I just would never do it. That's why I'll forever toil in obscurity. I don't care. Because at the end of the day, when the reset happens, I'll have my credibility and I'll have no corruption whatsoever.
Right.
So in a weird way, Netflix kind of could be the best of these three bad situations because it's not a straight smash together merge and fire.
Listen, and to your point, exactly. Look, the trades are corrupt. Pete Hammond is a shill for the industry. He's a shill for the trades. Pete Hammond takes kickbacks without question. There's no question he has gotten stuff from studios. He is always praising shit. Pete Hammond is a glazing bitch, okay? So is anybody that works at Variety, THR, or Deadline. They are all part of the machine. Bellany, even though he doesn't work there, he's part of the Hollywood machine. Guess who's not part of the Hollywood machine? Me. I never will be. Fuck you, Hollywood. I would destroy at the job of studio head. But guess what I would not be for? Sale. And I've already told you guys a million times, as soon as they came in and they said to me, hey, guess what, Weber, you hired people that don't fit the quota. You can't hire these people. I'm going to say, excuse me, what? Wait. What did you just say about a fucking quota? Did you just say a quota? Okay. We're not hiring people for a fucking quota. We are hiring people that are good at their job. I don't care what the color of their skin is. I don't care what their sexuality is. I don't care if they came from a privileged or non-privileged background. We're hiring people that are talented. And if you bring up that shit again about quotas, I'm going to bounce your ass out of here so fast, it's not even going to be, dude, you'll be looking for a job within minutes if you say that one more fucking time in here. Do you got it? Get the fuck out of here. That's how I'm going to rock. That's how we're going to do it. And that's not going to work in this town. That's not going to work. Because you got to bend the knee. Fuck that. I'm not bending the knee to any of these motherfuckers. Half of them have no talent. You have to not care what someone thinks. But that's not how most people in this town. Oh, that's maybe mean. We got to have this and we got to have that. Someone on X said Weber was the most toxic. Oh, yeah, great. That's great. Well, I got news for you, someone on X. You're probably a beta bitch. So enjoy that. Take that back home and take your testosterone patches and shove them on your ass. Why don't you do that for me? How about that? Nobody has more credibility. And I'm not going to sit there and listen to the blue-haired weirdos of the world. It's not going to happen. Not interested. Not going to have it. We're not gonna listen to that, and I'm telling you what, I'm also not gonna listen to anymore. And I've said this a million times. I was just doing it on X earlier today. How many times do I have to listen to somebody who has no idea what they're talking about and pretend that this is a voice that deserves to be heard? I'm so tired of this whole idea that everyone has an equal voice. Not true. Not true. You earn the right to speak on a topic. You do not all of a sudden, I've said this about film criticism, right? All the time, and now we have these people in the critics space that show up and they come out of nowhere and they're like, this is the best film ever, right? Like that one random outlet a few weeks ago. How long have you been doing this? I'm sorry, 6 months? A year? What? I've been doing this 10 years plus. Okay? You have to be around. You have to prove yourself over and over and over. You do not just show up somewhere and say, I'm the man. Here's my Burger King crown. I am therefore the king. Sorry. And who cares? Let me tell you something. I'd rather be, quote, toxic than limp dick like the majority of critics in this space. Left-wing losers. Seriously. Everything viewed through the lens of being radically left. So boring. Imagine being so dull that every time you open your mouth, I know exactly what you're going to say because you view everything through some tribal bullshit instead of just thinking, wait a second, what's the right answer here in this given situation? Oh, I want to give a couple of quick ones here. This is the Cinema Champion for today. Give me 1 second. We're going to listen to Nicholas Hoult, who, of course, was in Superman. Not a good film. Don't get me started on Superman here tonight. Wow. Some people are finally watching Superman, and this film's bad. I'm like, no shit, man. Where were you? Cinema Champion Nicholas Hoult. Let's listen to him. He's talking about going to the movies. And I think everyone's kind of weighing in on this whole Netflix and Warner Brothers and losing theatrical. Let's listen to what I have to say. He is our Cinema Champion here tonight.
I love going to the cinema. I love watching movies in the theater. I love that shared experience. So I just hope that continues. For me, on a selfish level, I'm like, that's what I enjoy. So as much as that can be supported and encouraged and continue, then yeah. I think anyone who works in the film industry loves go into the cinema. And there's always a thing when you're watching stuff at home, there's a lot of distraction around.
Can I just stop in there? Amen. I was watching, okay, so FYI, I just got sent the screener link for We Bury the Dead, which comes out in January. We'll have an early reaction for that film coming up on probably Thursday night, because I figure we've got Ella McKay, which is like a film no one cares about, and a lot of you want to know about We Bury the Dead. I have seen it. We'll talk about it Thursday. But here's what I'm going to tell you. When I watched it, it was hard not to grab my phone. Now, I'm not saying because the movie was bad. I'm just saying when I'm at home and you have your phone nearby and you have the fridge and you have the pisser, you're going to get up and walk around. I luckily somehow managed to stay focused, but he's exactly right. When you're at home, it's not the same as being in the movie theater. Unless you're watching Mickey 17, then you don't want to just get the fuck out of there. Or Avatar 3 at 3 hours and 17 minutes. You want to get up and walk around.
And it's just not the same consuming experience. It's, your phone's going off. This is happening. So it's not, you don't get invested in the story. And I think that's the thing. It's like the more you put into something, the more you get out of it. The more focus and attention you give it.
Yes.
And I think when you're in a theater and it's dark and there's a big screen and sound and you're forced to really commit and pay attention, you're going to receive more from the story yourself as well. So,
amen. Yes, and that's why he's their cinema champion. Also tonight, I have two of them. I've got him, and I've also got Sean Baker. Let's look here. Sean Baker, of course, who directed Anora. And as you guys know, I'm not a fan of Anora, but yet I can still say, Sean Baker, you are, I believe, our first cinema champion. You are now, again, a cinema champion here at MMT, because look here, he says filmmakers need to put our foot down in response to Netflix and Warner Brothers deal. And he's talking about windows. We talk about windows all the time. I had someone ask, what are windows? Please, come on, man, be a little more educated before you come in and ask me that. You got to know what a window is. Okay, it's not a window in your house. A window is, in the old days, there was a 90-day window when a movie debuted in theaters and you could not get it at home for 3 months, okay? And then it was available on DVD. Well, VHS, right? And then eventually DVD, okay? So 90 days is 3 months. It's a long time. People were forced to go to the movies. If you want to watch something, you didn't want to sit around for 3 months. You didn't want to wait for it to come home to Blockbuster or Hollywood Video. Okay, so that's important. And he understands that. Okay, so look here. We should actually be expanding theatrical windows, not shortening them. I mean, you can't wait an extra 3 months to get your streaming money or your VOD money. Talking about the 90-day window. Filmmakers have to put our foot down. Let's see. When you're going directly to streaming or day and date, which means streaming and in theaters, it diminishes the importance of a film. The theatrical experience elevates the importance. That way you present it to the world the way you do is a very important thing. And he's talking about he wants a 100-day theatrical window for his next movie, which Neon will give him after winning an Oscar. But I love the fact that he says audiences have to be reminded they will lose their theaters if they don't go. I think Sean Baker is a great technical director. I don't think he's a great writer. But when you look at him as a theatrical champion, he might be the ultimate theatrical champion. He gets it. He understands how important movie theaters are to society. And whether you hate Hollywood or not, I don't really care. I think you need to understand that movie theaters are our cinematic cathedrals. They are where we gather as a group experience communally to watch these things. And when they're great, we share that, and it's different than watching it at home. And it just is, and you know it. Anyone who's experienced it knows it. Now, a lot of times lately, it has not been ideal, okay? Not going to lie. Thank God for A-List. For $28, 4 movies a week. You can't beat it, man. If you guys don't have AMC A-List, and you have an AMC anywhere near you, Regal has unlimited. But AMC A-List is unbeatable because you can watch any movie anytime and any format. You want to watch it in 3D, IMAX, Prime, Dolby, whatever you want. XL, the new one. You can watch anything you want. And you just get on your app, you pick your seat, you hit it, you get the receipt, you're out of there. $28, okay? AMC's not paying me. But I can tell you this, if AMC wanted to pay me, I would take their money because, look at me, I'm pimping their shit and I don't even get paid for it. I don't care because I don't care about that. I'm trying to make sure that things succeed that I believe should. That's my ultimate mission here when I started this channel. Nothing else matters to me. Dragging loser critics and I'm sorry. By the way, but can I just time out? Can I just stop for that? The person who's like Weber's toxic. Can I just say something? Could this be, by any chance, someone related to the one film Twitter girl who works at Mubi, who doesn't disclose she works at Mubi, but when I said, hey, do you work at Mubi, she didn't like to be and blocked and didn't want to deal. Does that make me toxic? Because I call you out for working at a studio and not disclosing it, then praising their shit? Does that? Oh, I'm sorry. That makes me fucking toxic? I don't think so, honey. I don't think so, honey. You just don't like the light being shown on you. That's the thing is, toxic, guess what toxic is? Toxic is me calling your shit out. That's what that is. And if you don't like that, then I got news for you. Don't do shit that makes me want to call your shit out. If I don't have to call your shit out, then guess what? It's not toxic. So you're the fucking problem. Don't come at me. Don't ever come at me and say I'm the fucking problem when you're the one doing shit I'm calling you on. How dare you? And by the way, this is my stream. If someone says, well, you're being mean. You just said all critics need hookers. Too bad. It's what I said. I don't care. It's true. Look at them. The critics are fucking dude. Come on, man. Critics need hookers. It's true. This is not a group of people that generally are going to succeed sexually. Come on, man. It's true. It's right in front of you. Do I have to pull up pictures and show you? I got Jabba the Hutt sitting next to me. You know, I just oh my God. I can't. I'm sorry. I'm not going to ever tell you who Jabba the Hutt is, but Jabba the Hutt is definitely Jabba the Hutt. All right. So can I just hold on. So, by the way, tonight's Get Norwich City. This is one of my favorites. It's crazy. Can I just tell you guys that I'm allowed to say these things? Let me tell you why. Because I was at the gym today. I go to the gym 5 days a week. I played volleyball all day yesterday. At least 3 hours. I work. And when you work, you can talk shit. That's how it works. Why do you think I get to do a physique critique? Because I've earned the right. You earn the right. Can you imagine if I was doing a physique critique and I look like Jabba the Hutt? You guys would be like, what the fuck, dude? This is not right. You can't do this. This is not acceptable. The reason no one says anything is because they know I've earned it. And that's what I talk about in this space. I've earned the right to say the shit I say. And if you don't like what I have to say, you're the problem, not me. You just don't like someone calling you on it. Let me guess. Oh, is Weber the toxic critic because he just called out all the Critics' Choice members who take free flights to New York and LA and stay in 5-star accommodations and then vote for Netflix movies? That makes me toxic? Oh, I'm so sorry. Me calling out things that are totally corrupt makes me the toxic guy. Do you understand how it's upside down? This is such the younger generation, right? They're always the fucking victim. Weber is the bad guy, not me who takes the flight and does all the stuff, and now I don't like to be told that that's not right. Too bad. If you don't like it, then don't do the thing, right? If I was doing something like that and someone said, Weber, you take free stuff and you go and say good things about this, what if I said, no, I don't? You'd be like, what? You'd be like, yes, you do. Like, that's hypocritical. So what I'm saying is, if I'm saying you're being toxic, which I wouldn't even say because it's so stupid. Like, you can have an opinion. I don't give a shit. Doesn't make you fucking toxic. That's this younger generation. They're so soft. Oh, he just said mean words. That's toxic. Call him into HR. Like, what? What are we talking about? These are words. But that's this younger generation. They're just soft. Right? We grew up, Gen X. People talk shit all the time. And you just go, whatever. We get in fights with our friends. Like fist fights. The dude next door neighbor almost bit my fucking finger off. There's still like teeth marks in my finger. We were getting in a fight. He did like chomp down. I'm like, dude, you're gonna tear my fucking finger off. That's what we did. I'm sure film Twitter would have liked that because they cheer on violence. Because right, remember, if you are the bad guy, then anything is justified. Right, Luigi Mangione. Right. Oh, well, it's justified. These people are so warped, man. These people are so messed up. Look at the Charlie Kirk situation, right? Same thing, right? Oh, well, Charlie Kirk was saying mean words. He is toxic. He was bad. He deserved to be killed. You guys are fucking crazy. That's fucking nuts, man. You are so messed up in the head. I'm going to let you know something. If you think that you are so messed up in the head, you might as well be in the movie Joker. You might as well be Joaquin Phoenix. Because you're so just distorted with reality. You have no idea. that words are words. Get over it. I mean, I can't even believe it. Remember our boy Strange Harbors, who was like, yay. Oh, or like, I'm not crying because Charlie Kirk is dead. This is the same guy who's a dad. Piece of shit human being. Yeah, you're a piece of shit, Strange Harbors. Talk about a toxic fucking loser. You, Strange Harbors. What a loser. I mean, and the thing is right, a father of 2 young kids. Charlie Kirk, oh, I'm not going to cry for him being killed. He's a dad, 2 kids. Nope, not me, the dad, the loser. Chin-stroking, cinephilic dork. Wow, God, what a loser that guy is. I hope you come out here to LA one day, Strange Harbors. I hope you do. Roll up. Roll up. Let's have a discussion. I would love that more than anything. Oh, man, I would bring that shit on. I'd be waiting outside AMC 16 doing, roll up, 4'8". I can tell in that picture with you and your wife, you're like 4'8". Pudgy, skinny, fat guy. Not worried about you, buddy. Erick told me that Elizabeth Olsen turned him down because he thinks good time. That's not true. That's not true, Gone Girl. Welcome to the show, by the way. He's here now producing. All right, let's do the comment blast closeout. I'm done. I've done everything tonight. I have been on for an hour and a half. That's more than enough of MMT for you. We'll maybe start doing this on Mondays. I almost feel like I like it because there's more to talk about. Sometimes on Sunday, you just have some basic shit. I feel like we can maybe make this a Monday thing. By the way, hold on. I'm going to make sure I have this in here so you guys see it, because I know you all want to go out and get it. It's the Norwich City Kid. So this is it. By the way, sleep patch here, and I think there's a back sponsor on the back somewhere back here. But this is the player kit. This fits like a player kit. Why? Because I go to the gym 5 days a week. Why do you think it fits like a player kit? I mean, come on, guys. I mean, I'm sorry. The reason I got to say this stuff and the reason I get to say these things is because I've earned it. When you've earned it, you can talk all the shit you want. These kids, though, come in and they haven't earned shit and they talk shit. You don't. You got to earn it, man. You don't just show up. You're 22, man. You got time. You got it forever. Or then we have people who haven't earned it, and yet they are the king. Fantasy. Talk about a guy who, right? This is the problem. Listen, as we close, here's the problem. Whenever you have something that is on a pedestal, seen as this is the ultimate thing, and then you look into it and you go, this is not even close to being the gold standard. This is like the bronze or less standard, then I'm going to have a very visceral reaction. Look at Anora. Look at Everything Everywhere. Look at Sean Fennessy. Look at Matthew Bellany. These are all the same thing. These are things that are valued at a level that is propped up on bullshit. In reality, they should be way down in value in the stock market, trading in the penny stocks. And instead, they're up at the Tesla level or whatever the hell's up there now. I have no idea. I have a couple stocks I don't even look at. You understand that, right? So when the difference between what I'm being told and what reality is, right, that's where you're going to get me going crazy. And that's Sinners. That's one battle after another. That is Hamnet. That is Anora. That is Babylon. That is these are the films I rail on the hardest. Because it's like, there's not a gray area here. These are not great films, but yet you're being told they are. All right, comment blast, close out, and we're out of here. Anything? Hey, by the way, Gone Girl, check and see if I missed any comments here tonight, because I want to make sure I didn't miss any as I roll back and find the track from tonight. Give me 1 second. Okay, here it is. Okay, so by the way, I'm not kidding you. Gone Girl, bring up that super chat, the first one, if you could. I owe you, like, no joke, dude. Bruce, I owe you so many super chats. Because not only did you just buy me a kit. Dude, seriously, just hold on. The gold fucking standard. Seriously. This is what I'm talking about. That breakdown. It's right there, right? This is what we do. We'll never be Chris Stuckman because I'm not boring milk toast wallpaper shit. That's boring. The most you know what? I'm going to own that shit. The most toxic voice in film is on the air. Roll the fuck up. All right, any other comments here tonight? I'll put this track in the description of the link on YouTube. If you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and do that. By the way, I want some love for the new watch tonight. It's pink. Do you guys like that? G-Shock pink. Listen, I'm at the point where I don't give a shit. I might get pierced ears. I'm not kidding you when I say that. I might get diamond pierced ears, like a rapper. I'm at the point where I don't give a shit. It's not a joke. I mean, look, dude. Someone was like, look at you. You're like dressing like you're 25. I'll dress how I fucking want, and you will not legislate how I'm going to run my life. How about that, big boy? Because you know what the difference between you and me is? Not you, because you guys are awesome. The difference between you and me is that I am real. I am here, and I am authentic. You, on the other hand, are hiding behind a Captain America avatar because you're unremarkable, forgettable, and no one will ever recall your name for the remainder of time because you never did anything that mattered. That's the difference between what I do and what you do. Do not forget that. Not you guys, the toxic people. That's the difference. Don't forget it. Some of us are leaving a legacy because we are the masters of our universe. Good night, live from LA. Thanks for being here. Always a pleasure. I'll put this in. Thank you, Bruce. Bruce, honest to God, I owe you a ton. Next stream, anytime you come in, Bruce gets free comments for like a year. Good night, live from LA.